Hello everyone, this is SUSPENSE Aditya from SAINIK School BIJAPUR going to narrate a poem. The name of the poem is On the Grasshopper and the Cricket. Stanza. The poetry of the earth is never dead. When all the birds are faint with the hot sun and hide in cooling trees, a voice will run from hedge to hedge about the new mound made. That is Grasshopper. He takes the lead in summer luxury. He has never done with his delight. For when tried out with fun, he rests at easy beneath some pleasant weed. Thank you.
Greetings of the day. The activity of week 11 of 100 days reading campaign is very unique and interesting. I and my cadets have chosen The Open Window by Saki. Saki is the pen name of Hector Hugh Munro. He is considered as the master of short story. Hope you enjoy the twist.
We are the people of Group 1. In this group, I am Cadet Vinay Jalikati and Balaji F. Mugli and Suprit is my friends in this group. We are narrating the story called The Open Window, which is written by Saki. The Open Window by Saki. Now we are going through the lesson. Frampton Nuttall is a single man in a new town. His sister has arranged for him to meet her acquaintances to prevent him from becoming lonely there. On one such visit, he meets Vera, 15 years old niece of Mrs. Sapleton. She makes Frampton whether he knows many people in the town. He says that he is a newcomer. Vera asks how well he knows her aunt, and he confesses that he knows only her address and name. Frampton wonders whether Mrs. Sapleton is married, and he notes signs of masculine habitant in the room.
Thank you, Vinay. Now I will proceed to read. After confirming that her aunt is a total stranger to Frampton, Vera decides to inform him of her aunt's great tragedy, which she states occurred 3 years ago, shortly after Frampton's sister left the town. Vera points to a large open French-style window in the room, which was kept open on a warm October afternoon. "3 years ago, her aunt's husband and 2 young brothers excited through that window to go snipe shooting. The man drowned in a dog while in their hunt. Since that day, her aunt has kept the window open during the evening, hopeful that her husband and brothers will one day return with the hunting dog spaniel in tow and will walk back in through the window." Vera also recounts the memories her aunt shared with the hunting trio. Mr. Stapleton's white raincoat slung over his arm, the younger brother, Ronnie, singing to her, "Bertie, why do you bound?" Vera finishes confessing that on occasion she gets an eric feeling that the man will actually appear at the window. Just as Vera finishes her story, Mrs. Sapleton enters. She apologizes for the open window and explains that she's left it open for her husband and brothers to return from the shooting. She expects they will dirty her floors with their muddy shoes. Frampton attempts to shift the conversation, but Mrs. Appleton frequents looking out the open window and prattles on about hunting. In a final desperate attempt to shift the conversation, Frampton explains the trouble he's been having with his nerves. Suddenly, Mrs. Sappleton jumps excitedly, remarking that the hunting party has finally returned.
Thank you, Cadet Balaji. Unbelievingly, Frampton looks to Veera. But Veera looks out horrified onto the lawn. Frampton quickly turns towards the window and notices the three men, each armed, walking towards the house. One of them has a white coat draped over his arm. Following just behind was the small hunting spaniel. The men enter the house and one of them sings out, "Bertie, why do you bound? Bertie, why do you bound?" Frampton grabs his belongings and rushes out of the house, narrowly escaping a collision with a passing cyclist on the street. Mr. Stapleton asks Mrs. Stapleton about Frampton's quick exit. She explains that he is Mr. Nuttall and wonders why he looked as though he had seen a ghost. Just then Veera says that it must have been the dog frightened Frampton. She then tells them a story of Frampton's supposed phobia of dogs from an incident in which a pack of dogs chased him through a South Asian cemetery and forced him to hide away all night in a freshly dug grave. This was the story of the open window written by Saki. So, the twist will be given by my friends of Group 2.
Mr. Frampton packed his belongings and ran away in a split second. He questioned his existence. When did ghosts become a real thing? On the other hand, the three men misjudged Mr. Frampton for being a robber. They chased him and finally captured him. Meanwhile, Veera is terrified that all her mischievous yet problematic behavior would get caught. Mr. Frampton is surrounded by three men whom he thinks are ghosts. He yelled for help. They replied, "Robbers like you make zero sense when they are caught and make few silly excuses."
Mr. Frampton murmured, "Thief? Me? I wish I had a savior." He recited all the prayers known. Mrs. Sappleton came to rescue. She said, "He is our guest," but she was in a delusion as she totally misunderstood the situation. Vera finally explained the situation. The men giggled and explained, "Vera, you have gone too far this time, making up stories to an anxious person and also making up death stories who really care for you. Things could probably have gone worse. We are extremely disappointed in you." Vera is remorseful. Everyone felt sorry for poor Mr. Frampton.
Veera cleared her throat and then said, "I am sorry. Mr. Frampton let go the self-possessed lady, but only on one condition, that she would never repeat." At first, Veera hesitated, but she then agreed. Mr. Frampton realized he should not have been so anxious in the first place. And later on, he gradually recovered and was not so anxious as earlier. So, this was the twist. Hope you all enjoyed it. This presentation is by Cadet B. Ashwita Yadav 5813, Cadet Spurti HP 5767, Cadet Sutej Madar Kandi 5755 from Team 2. Thank you.